Hey, what's going on, everybody? Hope you guys are doing great. Happy Friday. We got 11 matchups on this NBA slate today. Be sure to like and subscribe. Check out all my links in the description below. And if you guys like betting on NBA player props, you already know, go ahead and sign up with ParlayPlay. Get 5 free entries. Use it on this slate. Cash out. And yeah, we'll hop in it here. Pretty busy slate today. Starting with the Los Angeles Clippers versus the Philadelphia 76ers. Sixers opening up as 8.5-point favorites with the over-under at 212. The last three head-to-head, the Clippers are 2-1, 2-1 covering the spread. The overs hit in 2 out of the last 3 matchups. Clippers 4-6 in their last 10. Philly 8-2 in their last 10. Philly playing great basketball right now. Philly 8-2 covering during this 10-game sample size here. 5-0 at home against the Clippers. Yeah, playing great. Clippers 0-5 on the road against Philly. 2-9 covering against Philly. Definitely struggled against Philly here. Love what Philly's been doing. They've been playing great basketball here. Loving the Sixers at home. You know, I kind of like the minus 8.5 as well, but definitely money line. Add them to your parlays at home here. Next matchup, we have the Los Angeles Lakers versus the Orlando Magic. Lakers open up as 5.5-point favorites with the over-under at 220. The last 3 head-to-head, the Lakers are 3-0. 1-1 covering the spread. The overs hit in 1 out of the last 3 matchups. Magic getting a couple guys back. Wendell Carter Jr. and Ross are probable Friday. Lakers 5-5 in their last 10. Orlando just 1-9 in their last 10. Lakers 4-1 in their last 5 against the Magic. Magic currently 0-8 at home. Been a struggle at home for Orlando. 1-13 in their last 14. If the Lakers can't beat the Magic, I mean, that's just disappointing. They should be able to beat the Magic by more than 5.5, especially if you have LeBron James on your team. They really need to beat the Magic, otherwise their season's going to be in scrutiny. We're taking the Lakers minus 5.5 on the road. Next matchup, we have the Oklahoma City Thunder versus the Charlotte Hornets. Hornets opening up as 9.5-point favorites with the over-under at 221. The last 3 head-to-head, OKC 2-1, 2-1 covering the spread. The overs hit in 1 out of the last 3 matchups. The Thunder just 2-8 in their last 10. Charlotte 7-3 in their last 10. OKC not playing good on the road, just 1-7 on the road right now. Charlotte 6-1 covering in their last 7. 12-2 covering at home. Yeah, I like the Hornets here. They're playing great basketball. Thunder not so good here. Give me the Hornets minus 9.5 at home. Be sure to add them to your moneyline parlays. Next matchup, we have the Miami Heat versus the Atlanta Hawks. Hawks opening up as a 1-point favorite with the over-under at 217.5. The last 3 head-to-head, the Heat 2-1, 2-1 covering the spread. The overs hit in 2 out of the last 3 matchups. No Kyle Lowry or Tyler Herro for this matchup here. Miami 7-3 in their last 10. They've already beat Atlanta twice, just last week. Beat them both times, and covered the spread in both of those wins. Atlanta 4-6 in their last 10. Miami 7-1 covering in their last 8 games. 7-3 in their last 10 against Atlanta. They've been really good against the Hawks here. Hawks just 2-5 covering in their last 7. 2-11 covering at home. Yeah, I'm taking the Heat. Moneyline on the road. Really hard to trust Atlanta. I just don't trust them here. Even with Lowry and Harrow out, I still like the Heat on the road here. We're taking Miami in this one. Next matchup, we have the Portland Trail Blazers versus the Boston Celtics. Celtics opening up as 7.5-point favorites with the over-under at 214.5. The last 3 head-to-head, Boston 2-1, 2-1 covering the spread. The overs hit in 3 of the last 3 matchups. No Larry Nance, Powell, or Zeller for the Blazers. Portland, 5-5 in their last 10. I'm sorry, 4-6 in their last 10. Boston, 6-4 in their last 10. Portland, just 5-12 on the road against Boston. 1-4 in their last 5 against Boston. Boston playing good right now. 5-2 in their last 7. I think a matchup against this Portland team that's been struggling pretty big time here is a good matchup for Boston at home here. We'll take Boston minus 7.5. And rolling with the Celtics here at home. Next matchup, we have the Chicago Bulls versus the Milwaukee Bucks. Bucks opening up as 9-point favorites with the over-under at 227. The last 10 head-to-head, Milwaukee is 9-1, 6-4 covering the spread. The overs hit in 3 out of the last 10 matchups. No Zach LaVine or Lonzo Ball, Green, Williams, Jones Jr. are all out. Pretty much everyone back for the Bucks here, coming into this pretty healthy. The Bulls, 5-5 in their last 10. They're 1-4 in their last 5, so they've been struggling these last 2 weeks with all those injuries. Bucks just 4-6 in their last 10. Chicago, they have struggled against the Bucks. 1-12 in their last 13 against Milwaukee. 0-5 on the road against Milwaukee. I like the Bucks in this one. We've seen the Bulls struggle without all their pieces, and Bucks coming into this healthy. I like the Bucks minus 9 at home. Add them to your money line parlays here. Next matchup, we have the Toronto Raptors versus the Washington Wizards. Wizards opening up as 1.5-point favorites with the over-under at 216.5. The last 10 head-to-head, Toronto 8-2, 4-5-1 covering the spread. The overs hit in 6 out of the last 10 matchups. Toronto 6-4 in their last 10, 1-4 in their last 5. They've been struggling this last week and a half. Washington 5-5 in their last 10. Toronto 12-4-1 covering in their last 17. 12-2 against the Wizards. Wizards just 1-7 covering the spread in their last 8. 0-5 at home against Toronto. Washington, had that tough 1-point loss against Brooklyn. Bad loss against Portland. Toronto, they've definitely been struggling here. I just don't know if I trust the Raptors on the road. Only a 1.5-point spread. I think I'm going to lean with the Wizards. I'm taking the home team in this matchup. Next matchup, we have the Brooklyn Nets versus the San Antonio Spurs. Brooklyn opening up as 2.5-point favorites with the over-under at 235. The last 3 head-to-head, Brooklyn 3-0, 2-1 covering the spread. The overs hit in 3 of the last 3 matchups. No Paul Millsap for this. We already know KD's out. Brooklyn 5-5 in their last 10. The Spurs just 3-7 in their last 10. They did lose to Brooklyn in their last meeting a few weeks ago by 2 points. The Nets 5-1 in their last 6 against the Spurs. 13-3 on the road right now, playing good on the road. The Spurs just 4-8 covering in their last 12 games here. 3-10 in their last 13. They've been struggling pretty big time. I like the Nets minus 2.5 on the road here. I just trust the combination of Kyrie and Harden to get the job done against this Spurs team that has been underperforming here. We'll take the Nets minus 2.5 on the road. Next matchup, we have the Detroit Pistons versus the Utah Jazz. Jazz opening up as 15.5-point favorites with the over-under at 218. The last 10 head-to-head, the Jazz are 9-1, 6-3-1 covering the spread. The overs hit in 4 out of the last 10 matchups. These teams did play January 10th. That was when Detroit picked up a 10-point win, which was a huge upset over Utah. Utah 3-7 in their last 10. They've been struggling here. Detroit 1-10 in their last 11 against Utah. 2-14 on the road. 0-5 on the road against Utah. Utah, they have not been able to cover the spread. 0-9 covering the spread at home. 1-6 covering in their last 7. Donovan Mitchell is questionable. I'm definitely adding the Jazz moneyline to my parlays. I think they get the job done against the Pistons, but this Jazz team cannot cover the spread at all right now. I know it's the Pistons. 15.5 points is a lot against a team that has been horrible at covering right now. We'll take, for you spread bettors, plus 15.5 for Detroit. I think is a pretty good play. Be cautious because it is the Pistons. But this Jazz team just doesn't cover. Yeah, so add the Jazz to your moneyline parlays. That's probably your safer bet. But I could definitely see the Pistons covering that enormous spread. Next matchup, we have the Memphis Grizzlies versus the Denver Nuggets. Denver opening up as 4-point favorites with the over-under at 220. The last 3 head-to-head, Memphis 2-1. 2-1 covering the spread. The over just 0-3 in the last 3 meetings. Memphis 8-2 in their last 10. Denver 6-4 in their last 10. Memphis, really good covering team right now. 9-2 covering the spread in their last 11. 5-1 covering against Denver. They're 6-0 at home against Memphis. Just 3-6 covering in their last 9, though. Yeah, going to be a good matchup here. 2 really good teams. I just think with how hot Memphis is, getting them plus any points right now, I think it's a great bet here, even on the road. I'm going to take Memphis plus 4 on the road here. And then the last matchup, we have the Houston Rockets versus the Golden State Warriors. The Warriors opening up as 12-point favorites with the over-under at 229. The last 3 head-to-head, Golden State is 3-0. 2-0-1 covering the spread. The overs hit in 2 out of the last 3 matchups. Houston 4-6 in their last 10. The Warriors 5-5 in their last 10. Don't see any major injuries. I know Warriors are going to be on a back-to-back here. They do like to hold Clay and Curry out on a lot of these. We'll see what they do here. Assuming they don't, we're taking the Warriors plus 12. Add them to your moneyline parlays. But if for some chance they hold Curry out or Clay, mainly Curry, if Curry's held out, I'm sure the spread will change a lot, but be cautious of that. But assuming that doesn't happen, we're rolling with the Warriors both ways here. And that's going to be it for the video. Good luck with your picks and parlays on Friday. Hope you guys all cash out, and I'll see you guys Saturday. Have a good one.